Immanuel Kant, 1724 to 1804. Immanuel Kant's quotes to be better known in youth to be happy in old age. All our knowledge begins with the senses, proceeds then to the understanding, and ends with reason. There is nothing higher than reason. Science is organized knowledge. Wisdom is organized life. In law, a man is guilty when he violates the rights of others. In ethics, he is guilty if he only thinks of doing so. Morality is not the doctrine of how we may make ourselves happy, but of how we may make ourselves worthy of happiness. Act as if the maxim of your action were to become through your will a universal law of nature. Out of the crooked timber of humanity, no straight thing was ever made. Two things awe me most: the starry sky above me and the moral law within me. It is beyond a doubt that all our knowledge begins with experience. Experience without theory is blind, but theory without experience is mere intellectual play. The only true way to be happy is to find that which is meaningful and pursue it relentlessly. Always recognize that human individuals are ends in themselves, and do not use them as mere means to your end. An optimist is someone who thinks this is the best of all possible worlds. A pessimist is someone who fears this is true. Happiness is not an ideal of reason, but of imagination. Immaturity is the incapacity to use one's intelligence without the guidance of another. It is not God's will merely that we should be happy, but that we should make ourselves happy. The only thing that can be called good, without qualification, is a good will. Nature has neither kernel nor shell. She is everything at once. The greatest happiness you can have is knowing that you do not necessarily require happiness. The death of dogma is the birth of morality. All interests converge in the three questions: what can I know? What ought I to do? What may I hope? Man is always inclined to do what is easiest. In youth, it is easiest to conform. In maturity, it is easiest to be an individual. All human knowledge begins with intuitions, proceeds from thence to concepts, and ends with ideas. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. The hand is the visible part of the brain. One cannot conceive anything so strange and so implausible that it has not already been said by one philosopher or another. The mind is like a parachute. It only works when it is open. The only way to escape the corruptible effect of praise is to go on working. Reason itself does not make us happy. It is our use of reason that can make us happy or unhappy. The greatest good you can do for another is not just share your riches, but reveal to them their own. In order to become, one must first unbecome. We are not rich by what we possess, but by what we can do without. Live your life as though your every act were to become a universal law. To be truly happy, we must live in accordance with reason. It is difficult for man to give up the pleasures of the senses in order to seek wisdom, but the rewards are worth the effort. He who is cruel to animals becomes hard also in his dealings with men. Our human understanding, even in its purest rational form, is always determined by our experiences. All that is necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. Man is the only being who needs education. All our knowledge begins with the senses, proceeds then to the understanding, and ends with reason. Always treat people as ends in themselves, not as means to an end. Science is organized knowledge. Wisdom is organized life. Ingratitude is the essence of vileness. It is not necessary that whilst I live happily, but it is necessary that so long as I live I should live honorably. We are not rich by what we possess, but by what we can do without. Enlightenment is man's emergence from his self-incurred immaturity. There is no way to escape the influence of the past on the present. Happiness is not an ideal of reason, but of imagination. All men's souls are immortal, but the souls of the righteous are immortal and divine. Always recognize that human individuals are ends in themselves, and do not use them as mere means to your end. The mind is furnished with ideas by experience alone. The human mind is capable of understanding anything, but only through experience. The voice of conscience is so delicate that it is easy to stifle it, but it is also so clear that it is impossible to mistake it. Thanks for watching.